All right, Brayden here from We Missed the Exit. Today should be a pretty easy day, pretty quick day. We don't have a lot of games going on, so let's just jump right into our fantasy flyers for today. I missed yesterday, so we're going to look at some of my Monday's ranks right here. Monday. Tuesday's ranks. I missed yesterday. Anyway, Tuesday's ranks. Here's what I said. I said, go get Nas Reed. He did fine. Not great. 12 points, 8 boards. That was fine. Definitely not worth number one pick, though. Dort, 11 points, 3 boards, 2 assists. Fine. Kyle Anderson, 12, 10, 3. Not too bad. Avdia, missed everything under the sun. He grabbed 13 boards, which is good. That's not pretty normal of him. So, and then I had Schroeder, 10 points, 10 assists, 4 boards, 6 turnovers. Not very good. A couple of my honorable mentions. I had a lot of them. A lot of my guys did okay. A lot of the guys that I said, I pointed out, not a lot of percentage of leagues have them, so go grab them. But they weren't in my top. Probably should have picked them. I mean, look at Jalen Williams and McDaniels. Tillman did very well. And I have Kenyon Martin. He put up some pretty good numbers, but overall not too great. So, really quick, let's just jump into our games. We have Washington and Toronto. Not a whole lot of injuries or people sitting out or anything. I said get Gafford. The only problem with that is you have Porzingis back. Thing is, Porzingis isn't a rebounding threat. He'll get like 6 or whatever. Really bad for somebody that's 7'3". Knicks fan hate Porzingis. But I would get Gafford if you need rebounds. It seems to be like he's a pretty solidified starter at this point. He's going to be putting up like, okay, well, they're not going to show up, but he's putting up like 25, 30 minutes a game at this point. So he's worth the rebounds, I think, especially because that team is very poor rebounding. He's going to be like really their only one. Toronto, I don't see a whole lot of people coming out from him. If you look at their projected minutes right now, they look pretty 8-man rotation. Not a whole lot going on in terms of the bench or anything, or low percentage guys on ESPN. So we're jumping to the next game. We have Philly and Dallas. Not a whole lot going on with this one either in terms of like injuries and stuff. So I put Melton as 29% with Philly. You want to go grab him because Irving's probably going to be guarding him. Irving can't play defense, so Melton might go off on this game. He hasn't been doing great recently. He's really like a hit or miss guy. Pretty much all right across the board. Like he'll get a stat in every category. Sorry, I just ate, but nothing outstanding. He did have a period where he was doing very well, but I think now with him, if Kyrie's going to be guarding him, I think he's gonna go crazy. Irving can't guard, so he might be a guy that you might want to look at. I'm not sure. Spurs forwards, they're all out again. So Sochan's 8%. Collins, who I have, is 14%. McDermott's 1% if you really need threes. The Pacers are bad at defense, and their 3-point defense is even worse. So if you need some 3-point guys, I try to find some of the Spurs players right now. If you look at some of their projected minutes, yes, McDermott's not going to be okay. Well, it's not popping up. McDermott is not going to be getting a whole lot of minutes, most likely. However, if the team needs threes or if they find he's hot, I mean, look at this. He had 5 threes the other day. That's really solid for a guy who I forgot was even in the league at this point. So McDermott might be a viable option if you need threes. The problem with him is he's not going to be consistent. So who knows? I mean, look at this. 19 points, 3, 6, 17, 7, 13, It's really hit or miss with him. That's why I don't think I've ever had him on any of my teams. But he might be worth it based on how many people are going to be playing for the Spurs at this point. He might get quite a lot of minutes. If I'm looking at the next game, or Indiana, I don't really see a whole lot of guys coming out for Indiana. Next game, again, the typical guys are out. Curry, Wiggins, Peyton, and Iggy are all out. What does that mean? Let's look at DiVincenzo. I know he's actually been playing very well. This is the guy who I expected back when I said go get him when he put like 5 points, 3 or whatever. This is the DiVincenzo I was expecting. I think that was a really solid pickup for the Golden State Warriors when they traded for him. So I thought that was a good get. I don't know why Milwaukee really wanted to get rid of him, but DiVincenzo I think is going to be a good pick. Only 17% of leagues have him. He might be worth it. Actually, I think he is worth it if you need a flyer at this point because there are so few games. 17%, probably pretty good. Kevon Looney, he might be pretty good too. In terms of big men, yes, he and Green are very similar in that they're not going to score a lot of points, but they'll be getting a lot of rebounds. It all depends what you need. And so if I'm looking at my top picks, I think Sochan's going to do very well tonight. Just based on the fact that they're going to be going up against Indiana, and he can play a little bit of guard, like he can handle the ball. On the same side, he can also play power forward, almost similar to like what Ben Simmons was supposed to be. And so, or what he was. So I think Sochan's my number 1, Collins is 2, DiVincenzo 3, Gafford 4, McDermott 5. I didn't have a lot to choose from today, but anyway, again, that's what you want to be looking for. Not a whole lot of Flyers today. Hopefully tomorrow we're going to be doing our podcast show. I don't know if we're going to do it live. I would check it out maybe 8 o'clock or so is usually what time we try to do it. You know, what else do you do on a Friday night at 8 o'clock is do a podcast rather than go out. So look for us. We missed the exit. Come back and come and take a look. And we're going to be talking about our NBA Fantasy King of the Hill tag trophy game or whatever. And I will hopefully be a little bit better with getting these videos out every day. All right. Brentford, we missed the exit.